This is a 22 News Storm Team Weather Alert.
Good Friday morning. Time now is 6:13. We do have that 22 Storm Team Weather Alert for today because of the chance for some strong to severe storms possible this afternoon going into the evening. But this morning looks fine. Nice blue sky over Springfield here. Nice and dry. The morning commute looks fine to start off this Friday. Let's take a live look also in Westfield here. You can see the sun is rising nice and bright. Enjoy any sun this morning because as we go throughout the day, the clouds are going to increase and eventually, yes, we will be seeing some storms for later this afternoon going into the evening. Good news is the weekend looks beautiful, so the sun will be out nice and bright going into the day tomorrow. But we got to get through those storms for later today first. Chicopee also looking pretty quiet to start off the day. Got that breeze coming in right out of the south around 5 to 15 miles per hour. Winds are going to stay out of the south this morning. And then as that front comes through later this afternoon, the winds will be more out of the west. So you might notice that wind change or shift in the wind as we go through later today. But temperatures right now 66 in Springfield, 62 Northampton, 63 is the temperature in Greenfield. Dew points out there are starting to climb. It is going to be a humid day. But right now, not too bad. We got dew point right around 60 for the lower valley. Upper 50s around Greenfield, 60 the dew point in Orange, and also back into the Berkshires, seeing dew points in the 60s. So a little bit of humidity when you walk outside this morning, but you will definitely notice the humidity as we go towards the afternoon. So for the 22 Storm Team daycast, lots of sun out there for now. Temperatures going to climb into the 80s with that higher humidity and eventually give us some storms potentially going into the afternoon and evening for today. So it's a good day to definitely stay tuned to the forecast, and also if you haven't yet, download that free 22 News mobile app because the forecast is always updating on that. Before today, we got the afternoon evening storms. That is the top of the 22 Storm Team forecast focus. The good news about this front that comes through later is it's going to give us a beautiful weekend coming up. The weekend looks bright, lots of sun, temperatures in the 70s and low 80s with some low humidity for Saturday and Sunday. So any outdoor plans for the weekend look great. But next week, it gets very hot. I think a heat wave looks very likely for next weekend, if not almost certain, for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way down through Friday of next week. I think we're in the 90s for temperatures, so we'll keep an eye on that. But ESP Live Doppler radar is nice and dry. Taking a wider view here on clouds radar, got this very weak line of some showers approaching out of the west. So don't be surprised if you see some spotty sprinkles later this morning. But the main threat for any severe thunderstorms will be this afternoon going into the evening. And the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center has given us a level 2 out of 5 for all of western Massachusetts. So it's a little elevated. It's still on the lower side of the scale from 1 to 5, but a level 2, it's the first time this season we've been given a level 2. So we got to keep an eye on things for today. But here's the 22 Storm Team Skycast. 7 o'clock this morning, the sun is out. Going throughout the morning, here's a chance for maybe a few spotty sprinkles around 9, 10 o'clock. Going into the afternoon, 12 o'clock, starting to see some of these downpours and even a brief thunderstorm potentially start to develop. But it's really during the middle of the afternoon going into the evening. And as I mentioned earlier, Skycast is having a hard time showing these storms popping up. Sometimes Skycast can have a hard time when it's dealing with a front. So use this as a tool, not a forecast as we go into the afternoon. Really, storms could develop anywhere. 3 p.m. here, some storms start to develop here, especially in the valley. You can see around 6 p.m. this evening during the evening commute, maybe some storms here in the valley. So we got to keep an eye on that. And then eventually we do dry things up going into the overnight, and then a beautiful weekend is on the way. So what you need to know for today, 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. is going to be the time frame that storms can develop. But in terms of severe weather, 3 to 6 p.m. I think is going to be that main time frame. Strong to severe storms are possible. The main concern is going to be some heavy rain that could create some localized flooding, especially during the evening commute. So we've got to keep an eye on that. But the chance for some strong winds and some hail can't be ruled out. But I think the main concern will be some heavy rain that could reduce visibility on the roads and create some minor flooding in some spots if you get caught in some of those downpours later today. So 82 to 86 the high temperature as we go through tonight. We'll be falling back into the 50s and 60s. Gradual clearing sky. There is a Valley Blue Sox game happening this evening. Definitely keep an eye on the forecast. Thunderstorms are looking likely. First pitch is 6:35. Temperatures in the 70s. And for the rest of the 22 Storm Team 7-day forecast, we got a lot of sun out there for the weekend. Looks beautiful for Father's Day. And then getting into next week, it gets hot and also very humid. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, getting into the 90s. We could even be flirting with around 100 degrees by Thursday next week. And that's without the heat index. So we'll have to keep an eye on the heat heading into next week. If you want to stay updated latest forecasts, you could do so by getting the free 22 News mobile app.